Hi, so today we're going to talk about conflict as a cosmic cycle, and this is part two of the video on conflict and evil in Indian philosophy, just a point of view of uh, what it means, and it's really simple to understand in just a few minutes. Now, last time we had spoken about very basics of Indian philosophy and today we are just going to go into a more intense, slightly more intense study of the conflict as a cosmic cycle with reference to Samkhya and Vedanta views, which themselves are extremely uh, simple to understand, yet we will go into depth in probably in the next video about all the different philosophies that are there. So, in short, the universe goes through basically three phases that we in Indian philosophy believe in. That is the creation, preservation, and destruction or reconstruction, as we say. So anything that happens in life will have these three phases, that is creation, preservation, and destruction. And the cycle keeps on going. It's a continuous cycle. We believe that the universe will be created, it will stay for some time, and then it will dissolve, and again it will be created. It will stay on for, of course, millions of years, and then it will dissolve. Okay, so the cyclical theory of time is there in Indian philosophy. So, and conflict thus becomes a part of the balance, cosmic balance, and it is not chaos. It's not exactly chaos. There will be chaos, but then chaos will also have something which will offset it, and that is a balance in society. Conflict, therefore, becomes important part of change and transformation. So something negative or a conflict will occur, and it will change the situation and transform it into something else. So basically, when two molecules, when they collide, uh, or maybe some friction is created between two molecules, something else, the third uh, element or third reaction will take place. So it is a part of nature and it creates change, so it is required. You cannot have just a positive straight line or just a zero situation, otherwise there would be no life. So it can be also the second law of thermodynamics. You can say it is like that, which talks about change and transformations and systems that move from order to disorder, and then again to order, and then birth, growth, decay, and renewal of stars, ecosystems, and also it is present in human biology. And there is one philosophy, I think it's a Buddhist philosophy, which says that we are not the same every second, we keep on changing, right? So this change and conflict and removal of what is there is a continuous process. So conflict will take place. So, in Indian philosophy, most clearly, as you can see, two atoms, when they meet, a third of what that thing is created. It's a continuous process, and there is an endless cycle called three stages called Srishti, Sthiti, and Samhara. Srishti, to deep dive into this, is how creation is there. Something occurs. There's a pulse in the universe, and then that state of being is established and remains for some time. So creation, preservation, and samhara, the destruction, annihilation, or you can say the withdrawal of the state, or reformation, something new is created. Now this is also called the Trimurti. Basically, Lord Brahma becomes the creator, Vishnu becomes the preserver, Lord Shiva becomes the destroyer and the transformer. So, destruction or conflict isn't negative, it is necessary force for renewal and transformation. And this is how Indian philosophy is distinct. You can have just remove the names of the gods, and you have the creator, the preserver, and the transformer or the destroyer, something that starts, which stays, and which changes. Now this can apply to all religions in the world. So when we talk about Indian philosophy or Hinduism, it is actually a way of thinking and a way of life, and it cannot be projected as a religion as such all the time. So it's a way of thinking, a way of philosophy. So now coming to the next side, we have now the societal POV in Indian philosophy. Again, you have the process of change and conflict. So how creation, preservation, and dissolution takes place to make way for the new. So in the societal point of view, that is POV, as you can see over here, I have made a diagram here. We have something in Indian thought system called the yugas. These are the cosmic ages which span lots of years. Now, the yugas are divided into four yugas, and there's something called the Mahayuga, which is some 4 lakh 320,000 human years. Now, each yuga decreases in length as well as the moral and physical state by one quarter as one by one fourth as the cycle progresses onwards, as you can see. So basically there are four yugas over there. So what is the concept? Like I said, creation, preservation, and then dissolution. In this phase, you or type of thinking, you have an old society, then there is a time span, right? So the society is created, society exists, some changes happen, conflicts happen, and then the society changes into a different society. So you have the Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and the Kali Yuga. So it's always like that, isn't it? So even if you see into a product life cycle, a product is launched, then it stays and does very well for some time. It becomes the star, and then it starts to become a cash cow, and then it can become redundant, and then it, unless you don't do anything to the product, if you don't improve it, you cannot relaunch the product as a new product. So in the same way, the society, the old society, as time goes on, conflicts and change happen, and when the change happens, a new society is formed, and that again stays on for some time, and again some conflict and change occur, and finally you have a different society which is created on the first society which is there. Just like, you have the first Windows and Windows 7, Windows 8, and then whatever other improvements you have in software. So different types of societies exist as per the time and the circumstances. Okay, so this is just to keep things very simple to understand. So you have the Satyuga. Now the Satyuga is the age of truth and harmony, and this shall contain divine incarnations, God versus demons. Then you have the Treta Yuga. In the Treta Yuga, dharma starts to decline. The moral values, they start to become less and less. And perhaps it was during this time of human evolution, or the evolution of the world, was when the Ramayana took place, perhaps. And again, Ramayana is a pure story about what should be the ideal values of people. What is the perfect man filled with moral values and truth? What is the perfect woman? What is the right thing to do against an enemy and against the problems that personal relationships that you face, right? So you do have the Ram Ravan war in this, where Ravan, which is represented by the evil that is there in society, and because of which the society then changes. He kidnaps the queen, Lord Ram's wife, and he takes her to uh, his abode which is there, and because of which a lot of other uh, the society changes, tribes and people get together to fight against an enemy which is causing problems on their land, basically. So they say that this character called Ravan had already occupied a lot of the forest it was there, and he was troubling some of the people and tribes over there. So this was just what you can say, an incident which led to this war, which was the kidnap of the lady Sita from Ram when they were in the Vanvasa, right? So to get more details about what is the Ramayana, if you don't know what is Ramayana, then please do Google search, and you will see lots of videos on what is the story of Ramayana. So this it was all based. Some of the decisions that Lord Ram took were extremely harsh, but they were about thinking about what is the most correct thing to do in society. So he stood for dharma and what is right and what is true. But it is during that time only that then dharma starts to decline over there. So this is Treta Yuga. Then you have the Dwapara Yuga, in which the conflict and confusion uh, increases, right? So you in Mahabharata you have then two warring families and two big armies which are battling each other in due to doing something wrong against the other army, as a personal, some of it is a very personal vendetta, and some of it is that one camp is doing injustice to the people and to the rulers of the opposing camp. And it is during this time that the Bhagavad Gita was revealed to Arjun, the warrior, by Lord Krishna. And again, the main thought process in the Gita is that you must do what is for the good of the people and what is the correct thing to do. Do not see that what you are fighting is your brother or a sister, but you must fight for the truth and what is the correct thing to do in a situation. So the conflict has to be solved in this way, by showing your strength, and things definitely culminate whenever there's negativity. Like there, when there are weeds that are growing in the garden, you cannot let weeds grow in the garden and kill all your beautiful plants, fruiting trees, etc. You have to remove the weeds, you have to take that decision so that your plants are saved. So that is the thinking. Now we are in the Kali Yuga. This is the fourth division of the yugas. Now it is the age of darkness, conflict, and moral decay. We have already seen we have so many wars in the past, 10,000 years of human existence and technology, that it's becoming more and more difficult to have a very true person and moral values to survive. So, yes, conflicts are there, conflicts will take place, and it's only they say that somebody one big powerful person will come, like Lord, the last avatar of Vishnu will come and save the world. But it's basically saying that now we have to, again, because of too much of darkness, conflict, and moral decay, we have to then improve. We will destroy ourselves, and we must improve the society to a better society. So we are in Kali Yuga, where adharma, that is unrighteousness, dominates. Hence the prevalence of global and personal conflict that are there in this world. Now, to explain more better, you have this concept, which is that conflict is necessary for our evolution. Change is necessary for our evolution. We have to better ourselves. Without conflict, there is no opportunity for dharma to be tested or reaffirmed. So, how strong are you in your values? How righteous are you? It is only when you're faced with some negativity from the other person. For example, somebody will try and test your patience, and how strongly do you keep patient, what are your values, do you do the correct thing in life, Even when you're faced with negative consequences or something, you're losing out, you have to let go of something. So in that, dharma is then tested during that time. So how patient are you, right? So how patient are you? How many times is a terrorist going to attack you, or somebody is going to verbally attack you? What is the limit, and how quietly you do it, or how diplomatic are you when you face the enemy, is important. So evil forces are like the asuras, rakshasas. They all represent, or you can say the demons, represent the greed, ego, and anger which comes into human beings when you're faced with. So, and they challenge the order, and then sometimes you need avatars and big people to make strong decisions to stop evil and conflicts which come in society. Uh, so, conflict catalyzes spiritual growth. It forces beings to make choices, learn, and transcend ignorance. Evil forces challenge the societal order. This makes it, again, makes it convenient or makes it good for beings to make a choice about how to remove the evil and make it into a better society, right? And so, again, coming back to the main was that most Indian philosophies, base their thoughts on, is then they become symbolic conflicts of the inner world fighting against the outer world. The wars that are there in Mahabharata and Ramayana are also metaphors, you can see. Basically, these epics are historical events which have occurred, and these the main heroes are heroes that have probably existed, and lots of stories have been attached to these heroes and the values that they represent. And even the Mahabharata and Ramayana, you can read it at different levels about archery, about war, about tactics, about personal relationships, about love, about friendship. Everything is there, and you only learn it uh, bit by bit. After each read, you will learn something different. Especially in the Mahabharata, they say if you have read the Mahabharata and have understood each and every character, you'll realize that these characters still exist in society. And knowing how each character has evolved, you'll be able to know how to meet people who come in front of you and cause certain dilemmas in your life. So the Kurukshetra, in which there is a battlefield, is in the human mind, which is confused with thoughts and emotions and conflicts, and decisions have to be taken which are correct. The war is between ego and the soul, ignorance and wisdom has to be achieved. Okay, so that is the dilemma which is going on in the mind. Should I submit to greed, or should I take the wise decision of not falling to greed, not taking a bribe, or doing the much more difficult path of truth? The cosmic cycle is mirrored in each of us through our inner conflicts. So we have inner conflicts, we have to make changes in ourselves and become a better person. Okay, so this is how conflict and change occurs not only in science, in nature, and in society, but in ourselves as well. So conflict and change is an important part of Indian philosophy, and this is my take on what it is. If you have any different thought, please do write um, in the comment section. And if the video has glitched in between, it is because of a bad connection, right? So thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you with a different topic next time. Bye bye. Thank you.